Miss USA officially has a new CEO and president. Let's talk about it. My name is Dani. Welcome to the channel. I hope you choose to subscribe if you like content like this, and if you're prepping for a pageant like Miss USA, check out my free pageant prep course that's linked in the description. There's so much going on within the organization right now, and changes are being made, but we aren't going to see every change that we want to be made because we have such a short amount of time. It is September, and Miss USA and Miss Teen USA will be held on October 23rd and 24th. Not a lot of time. The Miss Universe organization finally made an official statement and shared it with the news that Tom Brodeur is now the president and CEO of Miss USA. But Tom has already assembled a team to help him prepare for this year's national pageant. Since Tom has not yet received access to the social media accounts of Miss Teen USA and Miss USA, he is making all official announcements on his social media, on his personal page. He did share an Instagram story about this. So that is where we are finding out and how we're finding out who is going to be leading the team for this year's national competition. Let's talk about some of the new members of the organization, beginning with our co-national director. She is Elise Banks-Lovely. We also have Laura Clark, who is the co-national director as well. Both of them took to social media and made a statement, which Tom shared. I'll show it right here across his social media. I will say that a notable member here is Laura Clark. I did see comments swirling online in regards to a conflict of interest for Laura Clark and the USA organization because she is the director of Earth USA, US International, and Globe USA. And I don't believe there's a conflict of interest there because it's not uncommon in pageantry for national organizers to have multiple franchises. So this is true for the Miss France competition. They held the franchises at one point or another for World and for Universe. We've also seen this in the Philippines for competitions like Bini Bini Pilipinas, where those organizers have held different rights for Miss International Philippines or for Miss Universe at one point in time. So it's pretty common for these national organizers to actually have different organizations. Now moving on to our other new members here, we have Mara Martin. So Mara Martin is going to be the head of communications and public relations. This makes a ton of sense. Mara has her own PR company. It's called Viral PR, and she's really sweet. I think she's been in some of my vlogs before. We met at Miami Swim Week, and she's really awesome. She also went viral online because she was the first woman to breastfeed during the Sports Illustrated swimsuit fashion show during Miami Swim Week. So she has a ton of PR around her. We also have Gretchen, and she is a former Miss USA. She will be the head of partnerships. We have Holly Lynch. She is now the head of production and creative director. We have Mackenzie Kern, who is now the head of social media. Very exciting. Most recently, she was Miss America Wyoming, and before that, she was Miss Wyoming USA. So I love that we're seeing formers here. We have Richie Walls, and he is a part of talent management. I love that we're bringing back a talent management arm of the business. We need it. Then we also have Brando Eaton, also a part of talent management. The location for this year's competition is Reno. Now, y'all have seen my other episodes. You know I'm not thrilled about Reno, but we only have about a month until the competition. There's only so much to be done. I know that a lot of people floated around the idea of Vegas. I feel like Vegas would have been a better location just because there's more to do for our fans, for the contestants, but with such short notice, it may have been difficult to lock down that venue and get the room availability, all of those things within one location. And so it's nice that we know it's been done in Reno. And Tom actually took to social media and stated that the reason he decided on Reno was because all of this kind of trouble with Noelia's year and Uma's year started in Reno. And he's like, you know what, let's go back to the place where it all started and let's have a do-over. Let's create a new era. So that was his reasoning. Then he also appointed a director of glam. This is Ali Lee. As far as I know, Ali Lee also worked during Layla's year, and this is different from when I used to compete during the IMG era, because when I was competing, there were hair and makeup sponsors and nobody had to pay for it. I know that there's so much that people want to see changed in the USA organization, and there's so many questions and so many things that are up in the air that I've been reading online. People are asking about Noelia's farewell walk and Uma's walk, and to that I would say that Noelia and Uma did get a farewell walk at the All-American pageant. So they created a whole walk. She thanked both of them, thanked all of their sponsors, all of their supporters at that event. So I'm not really sure if they would need that. I would love to see them at the pageant in some way. I would love to see them involved, at the very least sitting in the front row and having some great seats. And then the questions of Alma as well. Obviously, Alma and Addie have just been kind of left to the wayside in this whole situation, which I feel terrible about. Interestingly enough, Alma did remove Miss USA out of her Instagram bio, and it doesn't seem like she's been making any appearances. I don't know what that means. I have no idea, but I certainly hope that she will decide to come and crown her successor at this pageant. I think that would be really wonderful. I think that we should all manage our expectations for what this show will look like. I think most of us are on the same page where we're just excited that we get a competition at all. Something else we need to talk about is that we are still missing 8 teen and Miss title holders because those state pageants were never planned or their directors had resigned. And so that brings me to the next topic, which is the national search for the next Miss USA. So this is a very, very unique opportunity, and there is a website, and it is called thenextmissusa.com. I'm going to read to you what it says. As the new leadership team of Miss USA and Teen USA, our mission is to restore trust, transparency, and opportunity within one of America's most iconic competitions. It is our responsibility to ensure that every young woman has access to the Miss USA experience and that our national stage is represented by a complete roster of 51 state title holders in both divisions. Due to vague residency rules under prior leadership and the urgency of preparing for our upcoming national pageant, we are opening 8 remaining state titles for immediate application. In this unique circumstance, we are presenting the opportunity for open residency for these titles. All eligible candidates are welcome to apply regardless of where they currently live. Final selections will be determined by an independent judging panel to ensure fairness and integrity through the process. The application to apply for one of these 8 Miss and 18 titles is September 21st. Additionally, they say we invite ambitious, inspiring, and confident women from across the country to seize this opportunity to represent a state title and join us on the road to Miss USA. This is a pivotal moment in our legacy, and we are excited to welcome a new class of leaders who embody the strength, beauty, and spirit of the Miss USA tradition. Together, we are building the future of Miss USA. If you click the Apply Now button, here are the rules. It costs $150 to apply for one of these state titles. You have to submit that payment with your application via this website. Miss eligibility must be at least 18 or older as of January 1st, 2025, must never have participated in a previous national Miss USA pageant, may be married, have been married, and have annulled a marriage, may have given birth to a child, may be pregnant, or may be a parent, must be a U.S. citizen. Teen eligibility is as follows. Must be at least 14 but under 19 years of age as of January 1st, 2025. Must never have participated in a previous national Miss Teen USA pageant. Must not be married, never have been married, and never have had a marriage annulled. Must never have given birth to a child, cannot be pregnant or a parent. They go on to ask some questions, including grade in school, current career, state you hope to represent. They want to know your Instagram, your TikTok, the names of the pageants you have competed in during the last 2 years, including approximate dates and results. They want you to confirm you've never held a state title in Miss USA. You also have to confirm, if selected to a state title for USA or Teen USA, that you were willing and able to participate at the national pageant on October 18th through 25th. And you have to agree to cover all flights to and from the host city, as well as required wardrobe, including but not limited to state costume, evening gown, competition heels, interview attire. It doesn't say anything about an opening number outfit. Hopefully that will be sponsored. In the Miss division, do you confirm that if selected as Miss USA, you are willing and able to travel, expenses paid, from October 25th to November 25th to represent the United States of the Miss Universe competition in Thailand? This part I think is important. Do you confirm, if selected to a state title, you agree to maintain that title with enthusiasm after the national pageant in a binding role, including travel to the 2026 state pageant to crown your successor? Estimated dates of next year's state pageants will be prior to July 2026. Then the contestants are required to submit an introduction video that is no longer than 1 minute and 30 seconds with your message to judges, such as why you would like to represent a state at Miss USA, Miss Teen USA, why you should be selected, and what you would like to achieve or impact during your affiliation with the organization. This is an internal video only to be used and seen by the virtual casting judges. And then it says the next steps are the selected state title holders will first be contacted to confirm the acceptance of the title before public recognition, and a confirmation agreement will be required within 48 hours. The submitted headshot will be used to announce the title publicly and include the candidate in the official 2025 class of Miss USA. She will be mailed the official branded sash before the national pageant. The state title holder will be required to quickly plan for the national pageant, submit official photographs and video submissions, and confirm all required information in a short period of time. While we understand this is a short turnaround time for you, we must ask that all interested candidates give serious thought to their ability to meet the requirements and accept the responsibilities. There will be a crowning ceremony held on Saturday, October 18th at 4 p.m. at the host hotel to capture official images of your crowning. Application is confidential. You will be notified if you have been selected or if more information is needed. Applicants are not posted to social media or the website. Results are confidential. The selected winners may only reveal their selection after being prompted first by the Miss USA / Miss Teen USA organization. You know what they say, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right, ladies? Oh my goodness, that is a lot. Two main things we should talk about here. Yes, I have seen the messages in the comments about the current Miss Utah Teen USA, who people allege is 20 years old. And also, we can talk about the other episode that I created where we have confirmed that the current Miss North Carolina USA did compete in at least 3 state pageants during the 2025 year. In that episode, I did talk about how the first runner-up, Presley, did obtain counsel and was requesting of the Miss North Carolina USA organization to remove the title from Lourdes, who is the reigning current Miss North Carolina USA, and give that title to Presley, who was the first runner-up. We're going to talk about a couple details there that we haven't talked about yet before. So we have these 2 scenarios for a teen and at least 1 miss. I know people were talking about other misses, but let's focus on these 2 first. And the issue is with their eligibility and were they breaking rules, weren't they, all of that stuff. As I was filming this episode, I saw an update for the beauty bar. It costs $350 to have your hair and makeup done by Ali Lee and the Glam Collective. I don't know if that's just the access fee and then there's additional fee for your artist. I'm not sure. But apparently the contestants can now make those bookings on the nextmissusa.com website, and the spots are limited. So we have 2 scenarios currently where there are questions of eligibility for a teen and at least 1 miss. I created an episode about it, and in the episode, I said that I believe that the situation was pretty clear, cut and dry, because in the contract it talks about that the contestants are only allowed to compete in 2 state pageants per year. Now, it does not say in that contract that they will be disqualified. It says if you have competed in more 2 state pageants per year, then please explain that situation. So I said, it does appear that they can only compete in the 2, and if that really is the case of eligibility, then in all fairness, the title should be removed from the current Miss North Carolina USA and it should go to the first runner-up. That makes sense to me. You'll have to refer to that other episode for more of the details, but essentially the first runner-up was told that she was winning the pageant and that points were deducted, which doesn't actually make sense if the pageant alleges to use a circle scoring system, which is essentially, to my knowledge, like a pass or fail. So if it's pass or fail, you can't really deduct points there. So the first runner-up was told by the Miss North Carolina USA organization that she disobeyed some rules. They did not inform her that she broke any of these rules while she was at the pageant. And apparently the rule that she broke had to do with the beauty bar at the pageant. So you have to pay to have access to the hair and makeup area at the pageant. To my understanding, when they checked everybody who was in the room and they're looking at that list and they're saying, okay, does everybody who's using these services, did they all pay for these services? It sounds like they thought that Presley didn't pay for them because she paid at the very last minute. She said that she paid day of. She has a screenshot proof of this. She said she spoke to a staff member about it, yada, yada, yada. So that is in that episode. I can also refer you to the video that has this long conversation if you'd like to actually hear it. This video was posted on Presley's YouTube page trying to explain the situation. Something that really doesn't sit right with me about that entire situation is that if you listen to the audio footage of the meeting between Presley, her boyfriend, and then the leadership at Miss North Carolina USA, is this. On their website at Ablaze Productions, Ariana Blaze is listed as the state director and executive producer. Next, we have Kiana Reed. She is the operations director. We also have Randall Smith, the production director, creative visionary, designer, producer, and advocate. Then we have Casey Jordan, who was the stage and production coordinator. Shivi Singh, she is listed as pageant administrator / social media. If you've been following along on the channel, Nick Blaze is somebody that I mentioned in a episode a long time ago because Layla had created some sort of committee and Nick Blaze was one of the members, and I brought that up on the channel because Nick Blaze is Ariana Blaze's mom, and Ariana was the reigning Miss Universe Guyana when Nick was announced as part of this board for the Miss USA organization, and I talked about that on the channel. So what's interesting to me here is that Nick Blaze is nowhere to be seen on the website, yet she is speaking on behalf, in this audio recording, she is speaking on behalf of Miss North Carolina USA and the Miss USA organization. So I went ahead and I looked up Ablaze Productions to see who actually owns that business and the LLC, and it is registered solely under Ariana. My question is, what authority does Ariana's mom have to make any statement on behalf of the Miss USA and the Miss North Carolina USA organization? That makes no sense to me at all. I know this is a lot, bear with me. We have that situation going on in North Carolina with eligibility. We also have the questions of eligibility of our Miss Utah Teen USA. Right now, the first runner-up of North Carolina USA, Presley, her lawyer is requesting still, now that all this news has come out, that Presley be awarded the North Carolina USA title because that's where she's from, that's where she lives, and that Lourdes, the reigning North Carolina USA, be appointed as another one of the state titles. And honestly, after all this entire mess, fair enough. I feel like that would be a nice little solution. Everybody gets to go to Miss USA. Let's move on. Let's be done with it. But wait, that's just one side of this. I need to give you a better picture. So after I released that other episode about North Carolina USA, North Carolina USA's coach, Peter Morales, reached out to me to offer some clarity, and he did say that I can share this with everybody. So he said that he saw the episode, and then he states that before Lourdes competed there, I spoke with Layla Rose. She told me the participation requirements had been removed so more girls could have the chance to reach Miss USA. Layla, as Miss USA president at the time, was clear. Residency rules and state limits had officially been lifted. With that in mind, we moved forward. Do you see how this is a huge issue, friends? That Layla allegedly is telling some people that there is no more eligibility requirements, but there was no official statement made by the organization. What's difficult about this scenario is that this is a word of mouth, he said, she said scenario. And then we have contestants as well who have signed legally binding contracts with the organization, and the contracts are differing from what was said. Peter additionally goes on to share, I talked to Layla at the coronation ball at the Miss Florida USA pageant. I was there because one of my girls had won the teen division, so my conversation with her was in person. That is one of the many reasons why there are so many issues right now with the organization that Tom now has to clean up, is because contracts say one thing and yet allegedly Layla is saying another thing in person to people and allowing things to happen. Look, I don't care what your eligibility rules are. All I care is that everybody's on the same page so it's fair for every contestant. That's all that I have talked about this entire time. It's super frustrating for these ladies who have just invested their time and their efforts and their money into this organization, and then they have to deal with all of this and they're literally fighting for these titles. That's what I had to catch you up on in terms of eligibility rules, because I asked that question in another episode. Are there eligibility rules? What happened? Did they change everything and no one knows? Yep, Layla did change everything and didn't tell anybody unless you somehow caught up with her in person and asked her yourself. Because all of that got so messed up, I feel that it is smart, because they are still missing 8 different spots for Teen and Miss. I think it's fair that they're continuing with that policy this year of no more eligibility rules. It is unfortunate for the rest of the ladies that competed this year that must be thinking and hearing this right now and saying, oh my gosh, why did I compete in this one state? I could have competed in a different one for whatever reason. I think that's really unfortunate. But hey, look, if you're representing your state title, you did it. Just let's move forward from here. I think though that it's smart that they're saying no eligibility rules for any of those remaining 8 spots, because so much was messed up this year. Now, moving forward to next year, I do feel like those eligibility rules will be put back into place as things get more organized. Now, I know this is all a lot, and honestly, it's unfair to so many different people. I'm disappointed in so much that was allowed to happen under Layla's leadership. But you know what, guys? We're moving on. We're moving forward. Let's be positive. Let's get excited for our contestants. Let's go to the pageant. Let's show our support for all of these ladies. And then the last note that I have for me personally is just very satisfying. The fact that, you know, Tom's the new president and all these new people are coming in, and I don't work for Miss USA. There were so many rumors swirling that I wanted to be the director of Miss USA online, and these rumors were coming from people who were siding with Layla, and other people kept spreading them. And also, I want to say right now as well, I am not trying to be a USA state director either. I'm sorry, friends, right now that is just not on my heart, and that is not something that I am trying to do in the foreseeable future. Not saying that one day, maybe when I'm 50, 60 years old, that might be a goal for me, but right now it's really not in my heart. I know some of these people personally. I'm excited for them and their journey, but I just feel like this is such a great personal moment for me where I can say, see, I told you I didn't want to be the director. I was being honest the entire time. I don't even want to be a state director. I prefer to be on the outside and get to share what I know with all of you. And then I also get to work with other pageant organizations and travel and be a host and do all those fun things. Those are the things that I'm currently pursuing right now. So I just had to add that in before I wrapped up this episode. But thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you very soon. Let me know what you'd like to see next on the channel.